Yes, ladies and gentlemen, another episode of the Brother and Sister Podcast. I am your host, Pug Flava, and my co-host is
Tressa Mitchener.
Tressa Mitchener. We come back with a special guest in the house today. Yours truly, Mr. Pug Flava. What's happening?
Yes, you are guest today, and I'm proud to interview you again. We had so much feedback on your show, the podcast that we did about the robbery, and we had a lot of questions. So we want to try to help people understand the different situation and the choices that he made and why he made the choices, because I think it interested a lot of people. So one of the questions, Pug, I think our audience had was, why did you choose to go to Walmart with the kind of money that you was making, and you knew Walmart could not fulfill that obligation? So why did you choose to go to Walmart?
It kind of want a choice. I got myself in a little trouble there, and I got on probation. The probation officer said, get a job or go to jail. So I chose A, get a job.
Right.
So at that time, I had to go to work somewhere, and I wanted something steady that was close to home, and I ain't had to do too much out the way. So Walmart, they called me back.
So that was a blessing that Walmart gave you the opportunity to get a job there.
Right. And no disrespect to Walmart and anybody working at Walmart. I wasn't trying to be funny when I said it the first time. It was just that, the caliber that we was on, and I had to, how you go from that to that? And it was, I had to get a job, because I was on probation, and I didn't want to violate my probation, so I had to get a job and get to work, man.
Yeah, and it was a part of the last show that I think that I should have mentioned to show you how God works, that I didn't actually explain enough. Right. But what happened is, when they robbed him the first time and word got out and they were still robbing all of these other people so many times, it was a friend of mine called me. Right. And she said that these guys had robbed him last night, and she was giving me the description of the guys, and it was the same description that his wife at the time had gave him. So I called him. I said, listen, you have got to hear this. I think these guys are still out here robbing. Right. And when I called her back, I told her, I said, can we come by there? Because I want him to hear this. So we went by my friend's house, and she told him what happened and how they robbed him and tied him up, and she gave the same exact description as his wife at the time gave. So what that did is it put him on high alert. Right. And when it put him on high alert, that's when he made sure his door was very secure this time. And it was actually that same night that she told us that, right?
I don't know if that was the same night. It was the same night that the McMillans, I think. I don't know. It was okay. It was shortly after.
It was really shortly after. But what I'm saying, and just showing how situations work out and how this came about, is that someone he didn't even know that I knew called me and told me about them being robbed, and it was the same robbery. It was the same type setup, the same thing. They did the same situation with this person, and he never met this person before, had no clue I knew this person. And when she called me and told me that, that's when I told him. And then not too long after, we'll say, that's when the guys came right back to rob him. But that gave him notice that these guys were still out there. And so that's why we was talking about how people's mindset is, and how sometimes when you're stuck in that mindset, you create these situations for your own self.
And at that time, I learned a lot. Hustling, it really teaches you a lot. I mean, because so many people watching you that you don't know that's watching you. I would go down and put my stash down. You come back, it's gone. And so many different little scenarios. And I found out later how it was all set up. One of my family members set it up. They set up everybody. They had, they was going around getting it from everybody, and everybody they got it from, and everybody that they knew of, I guess them guys was getting them a cut. My heart was broken and devastated, because and that let me know, you just never know. You couldn't trust too many people, and, it was a sad situation.
Yeah, but with the situation going on and the mindset of people, even if it's a family member or not a family member, it's just the mindset of people that sometimes they have a mindset and they think in one way. They're not thinking of the outcome, or what if something goes wrong.
They don't think about that part.
Right. So, and in this situation, 3 people end up losing their life because something went wrong that they didn't expect. And this is something that he didn't want to happen.
And see, I always knew God loved me for so many situations that happened in my life. There's so many situations that I can't explain that I got out of, and it was only him.
Yeah.
And so if God ain't ready for you to go nowhere, you ain't going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And God loves all of us.
Right.
All of us. But it's just sometimes when we make bad choices, those choices will kind of like tie God's hand because of the situation. Right. You made a choice that has to run its course.
Right.
But God is sovereign, and he can do what he wants to do in your life, my life, Pug's life, anybody's life, because God has plans and purposes for his people. And when he has a plan and a purpose, he's going to see it through.
Right. And like I said, it's just, I mean, you never know. So you got to think and just be aware. Because there's so many situations that I've been in that it's just a blessing I got through them. And like I said, when that stuff happened, man, I was out there grabbing guys off the street, taking them to the house. Is this him? Is this him? And that same night I was at your house when we had a little shootout, like just over craziness. I was at the same night, but I ran out the door and there's some young guys. And one of the young guys I snatched up, man. But I was totally wrong, but I was so furious and just, like I said, in disbelief, man. And you know.
And we just thank God, and we thank him for his grace, because even with his anger and retaliating or trying to figure this out.
And I had to get over my anger because my anger was like, it was really bad for some reason. And I didn't know why I get so angry, and like, which I want a person that would hurt somebody for my anger, but somebody that tried to mess with me, you might can get hurt, you know. And not saying I'm big and bad and nothing like that, because each his own. Anybody can get it. Like, as far as me, anybody, Ain't nobody excluded from, ain't nobody big and tough and to beat the world up, ain't none of that.
Yeah, he had an anger where he tore my toys up that I remember about. I remember when you tearing up my toys, and I still think about that. But he would tear my stuff up when he got angry. And I mean, you don't tear people's stuff up.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Forgive me for that. I'm sorry, man. I ain't really don't think about that other
forgive
day.
You, but he tore my toys up. It's just like he had some real anger management problems. And when he got mad, he would tear my stuff up. And I ain't have much.
You know, and I wondered, like, you know, should I have, well, back then or even today, like, you don't really, go see somebody. Like, who you gonna go see? Like, it's like, if you pay a psychiatrist to see that person or whatever, like, and I feel like sometimes they might got more problems than you got.
And if they haven't done the work on themselves, they do.
Right.
They totally do. If they have not done the work on themselves to get themselves clean, to have a heart that's clean, they got just as many problems as you do. Right. And if they're not seeking the Lord or the good book that never fails, how can they guide you?
Right. Because
it's an answer to every situation in the book.
Yeah. And I can't believe how I was so angry, but I was so gentle and kind to people. I was all wrapped up in the same thing.
In the same thing. It was, because he was very loving as a brother, a father, friend. He was a really, really good guy. But when this anger came out, it just came out. And it's like he always had to tear something up, and that's the part we couldn't understand. But now, with talking and communicating his situations, he's learned another way to deal with the anger and hurt, and it's just a blessing.
Yeah, it's a blessing now, because like I said, I don't, I'm a happy person now. I still get angry on the inside, but it ain't nothing like it was to retaliate to nothing. Like, I never get angry and beat up somebody. I've never been a bully. I hate bullies. I think I was mad at the bullies because I hated bullies. I hated
bullies.
anybody.
We
that
both
picked
hated bullies.
I hated bullies.
And I think it was because we was bullied.
Yeah.
Because we lived from place to place and could never make friends, really.
Well, but the thing about bullying, we was small framed people, but we was very strong.
Right. Right.
I remember some girls tried to mess with Tressa, like picked on or whatever, and this girl was up in the grade. Tressa was a bunch of grades below her, and the girl was picking on her.
She was a senior, and I was in ninth grade. You tell it.
This girl was picking at Tressa, and I before I knew it, oh my God, it was wasn't even close. Tressa beat the girl so bad, I had to snatch up off of her because it was so ugly. But
she was being a real bully.
Yeah, she was a bully.
You know, and I don't know why, but in our nature, we just always hated someone that's bullying or picking on somebody else. Right. And it could have been because we didn't have as much. We was blessed and thankful for what we did have, but, you know, people had more than we did. Yeah. I mean, a lot of families are like that, but to bully them and pick on them is not the way to go.
Yeah, we don't see in a few Christmas where we got a few things, and we don't see in a lot of Christmas where we didn't get nothing, you know. And like I said, people they would pick on us, but we you know, you can't do it. We ain't gonna let you bully us, and we just didn't stand for it no more. Like I said, when we got on up in age, man, bullying and we learned we knew we was strong and could fight, but we just didn't know it.
Right.
You know? We didn't know how good we was at it until it happened.
Well, I think the best thing that you did for me was helping me as far as physically fighting, but I think you started that spiritual fighter in me, the warrior.
Right.
And when I picked up that Bible, and I say the Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth, is what the Bible means.
It's the blueprint.
You know, that took on a whole nother level. You know, these battles are not physical, they spiritual.
Spiritual, mental.
And yes, and we have to we have to take down these strongholds, and we have to fight with the word now. So we have a whole new level of fighting, just like I was saying, for us, the Old Testament is nothing but the New Testament concealed.
Right.
And the New Testament is the Old Testament revealed.
All right. Now.
The book goes totally together.
All right,
and
now.
once you read it, you will see all the different shadows and types. You will see, you know, in the beginning with Abraham, where he was finna sacrifice his son, Isaac. That's just like the sacrifice that Jesus Christ did for us. So this book totally goes together. It's not a separate book, even though it's a lot of different chapters and everything like that. But the book totally goes together.
Right. It's an amazing thing.
And so that's why we truly believe, for whatever reason, we so thankful for God's grace, because so many situations could have went a lot different.
Yeah.
We're just trying to help and encourage people not to live this off life that's not destined for you. There's a better life, a better future, a hope for you that doesn't consist of the negativity that we went through and the wrong choices that we made, considering it as a survival mode, because you can really live a good life, an honest life, a life of integrity, a life that means something, a respectful life.
Right. Definitely a respectful life, because, I mean, that's what you want in life, a respectful life, because that's what carries you so much farther. When you got respect, you give respect, because that excels forward. Anything less than that, you're just going to stay still or move back.
Right.
You know, and you don't want to stay stuck in that same test, because if you don't pass that test, you don't move up, you know.
That's right. And when I was in juvenile detention, a lady told me when I was there, because I had the worst attitude, negative attitude, bad attitude. And she told me, stop laughing, bro.
I'm saying, I'm sorry, I ain't laughing at you, I'm laughing with you.
Stop.
As I always say, because you talk about me, the one always being angry. You was mad too.
I know, I was mad. I was mad too, but she corrected me, y'all.
Right.
And I want to tell you how she corrected me. She said, Tressa, she said, you're a very smart girl. She said, but if you don't change your attitude, nobody's going to never want to help you do anything. Right. She said, but if you change your attitude, she said, I promise you, the world will come at you and help you do whatever you need to do. At that time, when that lady explained that to me the way she did, I began to try to change my attitude at that young age. So Listen to guidance.
You didn't try, you did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you're right. But listen to guidance and listen to wisdom and listen to people who's been there and done that can tell you the right way to go versus the wrong way. You don't have to go and make bad choices on your own when someone is telling you this choice is bad. Save yourself the headache.
Right. And like I said, to each his own. And like, we don't know everything, but I tell you, if you ask me about something I went through, I'm going to tell you my experience and what we went through and what happened with us. And you can take it from that, you know? So, I mean, it's to each his own. I mean, like I said, we live, we learn. And like I said, you want to do good things in life to move yourself up, move yourself forward. Because, and you know, like the music going on and, I mean, try not to, I know some people can listen to music and I understand what's going on and I ain't gonna go out and rob a bank if the rapper say rob a bank type of deal. I ain't gonna, because the music say this and the music say that, I'm not gonna mimic that stuff because that's all fake. 90%, 95% of the stuff is fake,
smoking
man.
on this.
Yeah, 95% of that stuff is fake, man. So please don't take that stuff to heart, man. You know what I'm saying? I say 5% is real. 5% out of 95%. You know, you might have a few real ones, but like, don't take that stuff to the heart so much where it just make you act out and do dumb stuff, man. 'Cause like I said, that's one decision that you make determines your fate. You know what I'm saying? You go out and shoot and kill somebody, it's over. You can't do nothing locked up. It's over. You know what I'm saying? So just think about what you do and think about your reaction towards people. And you know, you ain't, you know, people tote guns all the time, and you know, if you got a gun with you, you drinking and whatever, and that triggers anger, and man, it can get ugly real fast.
That's
so
right.
I mean, you know, just watch your steps and watch what you do and watch who you hang around, and you know, people persuading people. You know, don't let nobody put you out there on a limb like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's so easy to get yourself caught up. You know, you with the boys and y'all doing this, y'all doing that, and like I said, that one split decision, it could be over for you.
Yeah.
And that's maybe be going to the grave or going to the pen. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
One or the other, and you don't want neither one. So, you know, I'm trying to live my best life. I ain't trying to go, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I ain't trying to go on the left fields, you know.
And life is so short. Nobody knows the time, the hour. You know, nobody's promised the next minute. So we just want to encourage you to live your best life, a positive life, a good life. Make good choices. You know, get understanding of life.
And if you make a mistake, own up to it and push forward. Don't throw nobody else under the bus. Don't try to put it on nobody else. If I make a mistake, I made a mistake. Let's push forward. Let's move on. I admit to it. I ain't doing it no more. So let's move forward. And you know what I'm saying? You got to be accountable. Hold yourself accountable on everything. And everything else will work out pretty good, man.
That's right.
I know that. You know what I'm saying?
Did we answer all the questions you think that they had? Or?
I know we didn't, because I think as soon as we cut the stuff off.
As soon as we could.
As soon as we could, I was like, I forgot to say this, I forgot to say that.
I'm trying to remember. I think one of the main questions was about the Walmart.
You got the Walmart out the way. Probation.
Yeah, probation.
Probation took me to Walmart to get a job.
Yeah. And Walmart was gracious enough to hire you.
Yeah, they was, man. So, shout out to Walmart, man.
Yes, for real.
Yeah. Yes. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Brother and Sister Podcast. I am your host, Pug Flava, and my co-host is
Tressa Mitchener. And remember, if you have a business need, let us know. Go to the website, www.
I can do better than that. Check the commercial out. Boom.
Yeah. All right. Yeah,